which is either a brand campaign, or it might be transactional in nature. It might be community driven. So what are the typical phases that you take? Because for your consulting group, this is the challenge that you typically get to.
Well, you know, when somebody says something that you were always thinking but you never really articulated, you remember it. Mm-hmm. Well, we were on a call with Apple the other day relative to enterprise apps, which are the apps that are used within companies. But the guy that was our rep said, you know, creative design on the front end and the data services on the back end together are 80% of any mobile app project. And I'm like, that's right, you know, and we're focused on what's being written and put on the phone. But it is this pre-development phase that is really, really challenging. So part of that structured process on the front end is to ask, what is it we're trying to achieve? Is it just more CRM? Or is it a certain call to action? Or is it a certain revenue from downloads of the apps? Or is it a certain revenue from advertising click-throughs that occur on the app? So what is the expectation of putting this out there? Getting those answers can be pretty difficult. You know,
often hard to get agreement.
Yeah, and the smaller the group, the better. You know, in terms of the product champion and then the business subject area experts that are.
But I imagine it's even harder for these guys. Getting agreement on the client side of what the true objective of a project is often a very hard thing to do. There always seems to be more than one, which I think is kind of fascinating.
Right. I also think one of the things to take into consideration is what mobile doesn't exist in a vacuum, right? So, you know, what are the other mediums in which you're, kind of pairing mobile up with? And so, if it's online, then you could probably drive someone to an app store to download, and it happens. And if it's offline, whether you think about QR codes or SMS or whatever that is, and whether you use a bar scanner because it's a real world advertising activation. And so those are some things that I think from our perspective that we think about is what's the medium in which you're actually running the campaign, and then how can you piece the right mobile strategy around that kind of more 360 or comprehensive.
We used to have a phrase that avoid the 360 but look for the right three to that point, right? Yeah. So it's never one in isolation and it's never 50, but there's usually 3 to 5 things you're trying to get to.
I mean, David brings up a good point in terms of integrated marketing. So mobile, there's certain technologies out there that are the shiny objects, and everybody tends to focus on that and sort of lose fact of the matter